Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and do you remember what you were doing last Friday? Maybe you went outside for a walk to see the nice autumn colors, or more than likely, you were doing the right thing, which is binge watching The Punisher on Netflix. I had just, of course, finished uploading ship updates, and it had just gone out, and I was secure in the knowledge that I probably had not missed anything for that week. And then I got this really cool email from RSI, the usual weekly email, and in it, there was an image. Yeah, that's the one. And I thought, oh, hey, they're advertising the anniversary sale. Maybe I should click on that and see what's going on in terms of pricing. Maybe they've got it all up. And then I paused because, wait, that's not a Hornet. Wait, what ship is that? So, of course, I just finished uploading and releasing ship updates, and then this thing turns up in my inbox. It's uncanny. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull back from everything. I'm not going to go on Reddit. I'm not going to do that and this, the other thing, or go to Spectrum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of sit back, and I'm just going to speculate in the blind about this. And just, let the chips fall where they may. But what I'm looking at here, what I see, is an Anvil ship. I think that's kind of obvious. So the first thing I thought of was the Gladiator. It kind of reminds me, the cockpit center section a little bit reminds me of the Gladiator, and obviously the lines with the bits coming out the rear kind of reminds me of an Anvil ship. So I kind of immediately mentally went to Gladiator as soon as I saw it. And then I thought, well, is it really big enough to be a bomber? Another bomber maybe? But then I kind of realized that I was looking at two images that weren't, the same proportion. I wasn't looking at them the same size. If I look at this ship and then transpose the center section of the Gladiator onto it, this is actually a fairly big ship. And so I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be maybe a fighter bomber, just like the Gladiator, maybe a version 2.0 of the Gladiator. Because the Gladiator, I think that thing goes all the way back to the Tavaran War. It's been around a long time. Maybe the military has modernized. No, wait, sorry, you're right. I'm thinking of the Retaliator. It's been around since the Tavaran War, sorry. But either way, the Gladiator has been around a long time. Maybe, the UEE has indeed modernized their bomber, but it doesn't really seem to have a bomb bay except for these two sections right here. Maybe those could be like some kind of bomb bays or like some detachable mission pods. Or you know what this could be? This could be an actual genuine attempt at a twin-engine long-range bomber. It's the only thing that throws me off of that view is, of course, the trail of smoke coming out of the center of the ship, kind of indicating that there's an engine in there. I guess in the end, it really depends on what that is under the wings. Obviously, that's going to paint a much clearer picture for us. I guess those could be sensor pods, or I don't know. Obviously, it's pretty big. Judging by the size of the cockpit, for a fighter, it's pretty big. But I don't know. Maybe some type of heavy fighter bomber combo, but there was another Anvil heavy fighter at one point that we already saw. We saw the F-8 Lightning, I guess now a couple of years ago, and I remember, if I remember correctly, Travis Day let it slip in an interview or on Reverse the Verse that owning this ship was tied to an achievement in Squadron 42, if I remember correctly. With these images now here on the screen and looking at them, given the proportions of the cockpits, I'm kind of feeling like since there already is an Anvil heavy fighter that's already been built out, I don't know, maybe it's a long-range scout or of some type of a heavier bomber version of the Gladiator, possibly. I think that's kind of where my head is at. We're looking at a heavier, like a long-range scout or a heavier bomber version of the Gladiator here. Now, one other thing that I noticed when I was looking at this image is, now, of course, this isn't, you know, like a high fidelity rendering of the ship that we normally get, you know. This is kind of like a line drawing. It's not, you know, it's not like a super high-end render. And, you know, I noticed that there are no guns. I don't see any guns on it. Nothing on the wingtips, nothing, you know, halfway down the wings. Now, maybe just because it's just a simple line drawing, or, you know, it's a nice line drawing, but just because of its simplicity, maybe the guns aren't a detail that was, you know, required for this image. But I wonder if this thing, if it is a fighter, I wonder if this could be a fighter that finally has centralized guns. I wonder. I really do. Ordinarily, you know, something like this, I'd be like, another fighter, really? But, you know, I'm intrigued by this. This is intriguing because it's a bit of a puzzle, and there are some interesting possibilities with this. I want to know more about this. This is, you know, this has got a little hype going for me. But I don't think we're going to find out anything more about this ship until Friday, because we got this post on the forums. This is from Xylo at CIG. This is replying to a player. I'll link the post in the description down below. This is replying to a player who was, I guess, looking for some more detail on pricing for the anniversary sale and specific ship availability, things like that. And I think CIG misinterpreted it as a request for information on this ship, and they put in this: hey folks, going forward, instead of spoiling a ship reveal early, we'll be releasing all information about the concept ship, including price, at one time. Which seems to fly in the face of Disco Lando's post. Most recently, it's on Spectrum now, but I think it relates to an earlier thread back when we actually had forums, where he's telling us, like, from now on, CIG's going to give us 1 week's notice, including the price. So, why the change? I mean, I don't think that it really spoils anything. Now, does telling us the name and the price really spoil the ship? I kind of don't think that it does, especially if you release an image like this and then, oh, but we don't want to tell you the name or the price. I think showing us this told us more than the name or the price would. I mean, I can look at this image, and I mean, just given off of what I've kind of guessed at, if I wanted to guess the price of this ship, given its size and its apparent use or use is, I would say it's probably $225 to $250, somewhere in that range. Maybe 200, maybe, but probably not. I don't really think that telling us this spoils it. And the reason why we have that 1 week advance notice is because in the past there has been a bit of an uproar about dropping surprise ships on the community, like the Saber, and, you know, not giving them advance notice. So, I mean, that rule was kind of set up for a reason. Now it's just like, oh, we don't want to spoil it, but here's a picture of it. You know, it kind of doesn't make sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I love CIG, I really do, but it kind of feels sometimes like there are some people walking around with out-of-date playbooks on this team, you know, and it's just like, oh, you didn't know we were doing that? Or, you know, the communication feels a little bit disjointed sometimes. It's kind of like, you know, with the Vanguard telling us, oh, the Vanguard's going to be in Squadron 42, and then you're saying it's not going to be in Squadron 42, and then, surprise, it's in Squadron 42, that sort of thing. It's like different people are working off of different playbooks sometimes. Now, before I go, I'm going to tantalize you with one final distant possibility, because there's another ship that this ship bears a bit of a resemblance to, especially from the top. And that's the Xeon Scout, or the Xi'an, or the Xi'an, or whatever it is this week. it's got, you know, it's got those wings sticking out, and then the secondary ones going a little bit further back, and that top part could be the fin. I mean, and those two round parts under the wing could be the engine pods. And isn't the Xeon Scout supposed to be based off of like a heavier, larger actual fighter model? I kind of feel like that's a possibility, and there was some discussion about bringing the Xeon Scout back and making it a two-person ship again, and kind of upping the guns. You know, we've had that conversation before. Maybe this is it. Anyways, that's the end of my speculation. That's all I'll subject you to for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.